can you turn it off? Guys, so what did you guys do on weekends? Nothing? What did you do? Yeah, you? Yeah. I mean, what did you do on weekends? Nothing means there must be something, right? Say it's okay. Anything personal? Okay. Fine. So today we're gonna take one more bigger step. As I can say, till now we have covered basic things. Okay. Only basics. This won't get you. This won't help you to get the job. Basics. Okay. This might help you to clear one or two questions in interview. That's it. Nothing else. Now we have to go one step ahead. Okay. Oops. What is oops? Object oriented. What is this? Huh? Even I don't know what's the full form. I don't know what is yes. Let it be. So here comes object oriented programming, right? Anyone here have anyone wrote at least 500 or 600 lines of code in Python? Anyone? No? Nobody? Okay. Okay, this is a situation like, for example, if you order something on Swiggy, instead of giving the entire food pack, what if they give all the different ingredients separately and say and if they send the recipe and tell you only cook by yourself, how would you feel? How would you feel? Yeah? How would you feel? See? You order a food, you pay, instead of sending the entire food packed cooked, okay, if they send the separate ingredients and tell how to cook, how do you feel? Yeah. Say whatever you have in mind. Come on, speak up. Say. What would be your expression? What would be your speak up? Will you get angry? Don't get angry. Okay. So what we did right till today, we total we did 10 days class we did. Till now what you have done is that kind of situation. Okay. Everything, what are things we dealt with? Variables, right? Variables, data, data types. Yeah, we'll come to that. So all these things were not so structured way, right? However we wanted, we just did it. We just named, we just gave the value, we just modified, no proper structure, right? So in order to give the structure, we can't write the code in that way. We have to follow some rule, some structured way. So this is kind of structured way, okay? So no, this is fine. I think issue is that issue in the wire. Can you open and re-plug it? Yeah, use it please. Okay, let's continue the class. So what I said is, till now what I have wrote is completely loose. Structure is very loose. Now we need a proper structure, right? So what will give the proper structure. In real world, whatever you see, everything will come with a bundle, right? Everything will come with a bundle. Any example? Any real world object? Any name? Yeah? Dresses. Okay. You, person. Yeah. Yeah? I mean, people are wondering, why person? A person has eyes, nose, skin tone. I'm not a racist, okay? Any other example? Flowers, books, stool, car, right? All these are real world objects. Everything will come with a bundle. Especially, okay, okay, fine. So whenever we say a bundle, every real world object that present will come in a bundle. So that is called object. Any real world thing is called object. Any real world thing. Any real world. Okay. We have one more concept called class. Class is like a blueprint, okay? Blueprint for the real world object. For example, you have a recipe for biryani. This is a blueprint, okay? Blueprint or class. Class, blueprint, both same things. Some biryani will come tastier, some might not. Varies, right? For example, B1 will be tastier. B2, biryani 2 will be more salty. Right? This is one of the example. Recipe will be fixed. Okay? But the things which we do by taking that recipe might vary. To create this, we do cooking, right? From recipe to biryani, we do cooking. That is called instantiation. This is technical word, you have to remember. Instantiation. Creating the instant. Creating the instance. From what? We create the instance from the class. When we create the instance, that becomes object. Okay? For example, in this class, everyone is studying the same thing, right? But everyone might be getting different marks. Right? Syllabus is like a everyone will be following the same syllabus, but marks will be, every student will be different. Hello. Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah. So syllabus will be same, but every student will be different. Every student might get different marks, right? So that's the main difference between a class and an object, right? Class is like a blueprint. One more classical example, very classical example. Car, okay. So what do car contains? Every car contains Yeah. Spare parts. Okay. Wheel. Color. Style. Yeah. Yeah. Gear. Okay. Engine. Hello. So this will be the blueprint for making any car. For all the cars, these things will be there. But every car is different, right? Because we change these values. Blueprint will remain the same, right? Color might vary, car style might vary. And what else? Engine varies. So we create car from this blueprint, and after creation, that's called after instantiation, what we get is object. Different cars are called objects. Okay. Any more examples do you want? I mean, is it able to understand what I'm saying? Class is like a blueprint. What we make out of that blueprint will be varying. Every object varies, right? But the blueprint will be same. So, blueprint is class. What we make out of that is an object. Object is a real world entity. Examples I have given you. You 5 minutes answers for the question.
5 minutes.
5 minutes answer. Miracle issue. So, so if I say question as a class, okay, what all attributes it might contain? When I say attribute, for car I said these many things, right? That is called attributes. So when for questions, what all attributes might contain? What all things a question will contain? Okay. Yeah, tell me. What will question contains? If a question has a bundle, what all things, if you break down the questions, what all a question will contain? Yeah? Words. Okay. Text. What else? Yeah? Question number. What else? Question. I'm putting in the text. What else? Someone said something. Marks. Who said marks? Yeah, marks. What else? Type. What type of question it is? MCQ or coding question or a descriptive. This is what I give. Okay. So if you take question as a bundle, these many things will contain. When you create, for example, this is a blueprint. Okay. When you create a question, this value changes. This will change. This will change. This will change. From that you will create a Q1. One question will be created. For all question, this will be same, isn't it? For all question, these four things will contain. So that is what blueprint is called. Okay, that is what blueprint is called. From this, you create a question. For example, if I ask you to create one question out of it, when I do Q1 is equals to, this is the syntax, okay? This is the class name. I have to write the class name, question, first is text, say one question, any random question. How are you? How are you? You have to be very fast. How are you? So question number 1. Marks, how much will you give? 1. Okay. What's the type of it? Descriptive. So we just now created one object. This Q1 is an object. Okay. Any doubts till here? Any doubts? Yeah, any doubts? Any doubts? Okay, so this is class, these are all attributes. A blueprint will contain these things. Every object you create, you have to pass these values. Okay, this is the syntax. If you write this, on the right side if you write the class name, inside you have to pass the attributes. This is the question. This might change, vary based on question wise question. This is the question number 1. 1 marks you would give. This is a descriptive type, right? So when you do this, one object will get created. This Q1 is an object. Okay. So how to create class? What is the syntax for that? Very simple. Just write class and what is the class name? I'll parallelly code it. Do you guys know what this pass is? Pass keyword. Any idea? Yeah. Empty block. For example, if you wanna declare any function, but still we did not, still we don't want to use it, but we want in the code. If we don't know what logic we have to put inside, write the name inside, write pass. Otherwise, you will get a syntax error. Something like that. You can put pass in inside the class block or function block. Doesn't matter. Okay. So this is the simplest way to create a object. Okay. Right now inside question there is no, what to say, there is no attributes. I did not declare any blueprint inside the question. Still I can create a object. Okay. So let's try what happens if we print this. So you get main dot question object at this. So what is this?
Address.
Yeah. Memory location. This place that particular object exists. Okay. As you see, this is in which format? It's not in integer. Yeah. Hexa. Right. That day I have said while explaining the ID concept. Inside it might be storing in different method, hexa or integer, we don't know. But when we do ID, we get in integer format. Okay. So for example, if you convert this, I will show you. What happens if you print the ID of Q1? You will get in integer, right? If you convert this integer to hexa, you will get this. You can try it at home. Okay. So I mean, in this what we should take is, when we do type of an object, we get the class name. This is very important. We just need this. We might not need address most of the time. To check which class that object belongs to, just look at this. That's it. Okay. Now if I want to give something, for example q1.text, and q2.text, okay. So in this we need to understand one thing. This is like a parent to everything. Okay. We can create multiple n number of objects in that particular class name. Okay. In that class we can create n number of objects. Each object is independent of each other. For example, Q1 don't know what is Q2. These are completely independent. It might be created from the same class, doesn't matter. Q1 doesn't know who is Q2, Q2 doesn't know who is Q1. It's completely independent. So when I do Q1.text, what is Python? Question. Q2.text, or this Q1 and Q2 are completely different. Okay. So when I do Q1.text, I get only this. When I do Q2.text, I get only this. What you need to understand is, doesn't matter you created from the same class, all the objects which you create are completely independent to each other. That's the key point to remember. Yeah. Acting.
ID.
To find the memory location.
Okay.
Yeah. Any doubts still here? Yes, any doubts? Yeah. Yeah, okay. So here is the class name. I have given question. You can give any name, doesn't matter. Pass. If I don't give pass, right now I don't want to mention any attributes. We'll do that later. We'll come back to that. For example, I have just given pass. For now, one class called question exists. If a class exists, I can create an object. If a class exists, I can create object. Okay. From one class, how many objects can I create? One second. Hello. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, sorry guys. So the thing is, when we have a class, we can create n number of objects, no limits. Okay. Now I created one object called Q1. The name of that object is Q1. When I do print of Q1, I get which class it belongs to and in which location. Okay. And as you guys know what is ID, this is also gives the location of the memory, but in the integer format. Now I created one more object with the same class, name is Q2. Now I am giving one attribute to that object. The attribute name is text. You can give any attribute. Okay, I have given text. What is Python is the value of that. I have Q2. This is another object. These two are completely independent. Completely independent. Okay. When I say independent, they don't know each other. That's how the relation is. I have given the values. How are you? When I print Q1.text, I get this. Q2.text, I get this. Till here, any doubts? Which one? This actually, I will explain you when I go to the next concept called init and constructor concept. So till now, everything clear? Yeah, any doubts? Okay. Yeah. Any doubts? Yeah, you. Any doubts? Go. But as you guys saw here, I created an object and then I am giving some values. This is very wrong. This is not an ideal way to do it. Okay. This is like after baby is born, we are giving name to it after 5 years. Right? How would baby might feel wrong, right? Baby is born, after 5 years we are giving the name. That's not the right way to do it. Okay, but we can do it, but that's not the right way to do it. When we are giving birth to an object, we should give all the values. Right? That's the ideal way. For example, I'll write about this. So, ideal way to create an object inside class.
So we have to give underscore in it.
Is it underscore is there?
Yes.
One or two?
Double.
Okay. So we have to create a init function. Okay. Why this init function is? This init is nothing but initialization. Okay. Before initialization, internally Python do the construction. Python will construct the object. Once the object is constructed, we have to initialize the values. While creating, we are giving q1 is equal to question. This keyword should match all the values whichever we have. Basically, 4 parameters we have to pass. Yeah, 4 parameters like give any text, give any question number, give any marks, give any type. We pass it internally in Python. Construction happens. Okay. Then after that, flow will come here to this function. Whenever you create an object, this will be called. After the construction, internal happen, we don't see that. After that, it will come here. Whatever we value we pass inside this will be taken to this. Okay. Whenever we are creating an object, we have to give all the values necessary for that object. Okay. So this is the keyword underscore init. So when you create an object, this will be automatically called, and all the values which you pass here will be taken. Okay. This self, what self is like? Self is saying me, myself, I am. Okay. Self means myself. Which object are you talking about? That one. Here I am talking about q1. Here self is q1. For q1 I am giving these values. Okay. This self is important. Otherwise Python won't understand for which object you are talking about. It will get confused. So this self is important. You are not passing self here. Python will automatically do it inside. But you have to mention self here. When you say self, you are saying for this object you have to initialize the values. Any doubts still here? So tell me guys, yeah, one second. Once the initialization is done, am I able to change the value?
Yes, sir.
Can I? Can I? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we can change the values. Okay, those are all initial values. That's why we call initialization. Any time we can change the value. Yeah.
Sir, if we want to run all
That you have to create one method. That is next concept. If you want in that method, you write the print statement inside. Just call that method. For example, if I create a method here inside print all values, you call that function. It will be. Try changing the values also. For example, change the marks, change the value 5 to 4. Right. Yep. I have just called this function print value. Inside print value, I have wrote the getting any doubts? function is create from one method. And we have so this is called string retrieval. Okay, when we want some, if we want to access some variables along with some other string, this is the syntax. You have to just write F and see Q. You want Q question number. If you want to put any variable, you can put inside this curly braces. So the original value will come and replace it. So it's a syntax. If you write in this way, it will look clean up. You have other way also. Other ways like writing commas, plus other methods, string concatenation or this is the better method. Looks clean. Write F, put the variable inside the curly braces. Shall we continue? Yeah? There? Shall we continue? Yeah? So, now we created objects of questions, right? So, multiple questions with different question number, questions, marks, types, right? So, where the questions will be there? Questions will be in the test and exams, right? Right? So, let's create a class called test. Inside the test, let's use the questions. Okay. So other than questions, what does a test will contains? If you take test as a bundle, other than questions, what else our test contains? Instructions like timing, right? Duration. What else? Anything else? Other than questions, test contains questions also. If you take test as a bundle, as a blueprint, it contains duration, questions, what else? Yeah? Test mode, yeah, we can say. Any other?
Mark.
Some time, redundancy and
Duration, sorry. Duration.
Mark.
time.
What type of
One
test is
second.
that?
One second. So test will contain, it will contain a title, right? What test it is, right? And when the test is created it, whether the test is published or not. Before I gave the test to you guys, it was in the unpublished mode. When I release the link with you, it's in the published mode. So published is like a boolean value, whether published or not, true or false. So create one class with these fields. Put these attributes inside init and create one object. Test one. Try it yourself. Create a class, put these attributes inside init and create one object. Right one method inside. If you call this, see, if you are not print values, the line number 18. If you call, what happens? What are Q1 value? That Q1 is like an object, right? Inside, right? All those values, whatever we initialize, that is there. That will be printed. Self dot question number, self dot test, self dot question number. That's how you will call it. Guys, this is called instance method, okay? This method belongs to that particular instance. Whenever I say instance, keep this in mind. Instance is equals to object. Okay? Whenever I say instance or object, both are same. Wherever you see, inside the class, there are other type of method also. That's why I'm saying this is called instance method. Okay? What you did, this method is inside the class, it has self, let it be. When you do q1 dot print values, this self will take this value, q1. q1 dot question number, what is it? q1 dot question number, this one will be printed. Next, q1 dot text, what is q1 dot text? q1 dot text, what is Python? So that's how it will be printed. Whenever it is, when I say self, it's saying myself. Who is myself? Which object is called? Who called print values? Q1. So here self is Q1. thing. What will be the data type of question here?
String.
Yeah.
String.
No, one test will contain many questions, right? So when I say many, what data type it will be? List. Okay. First we have to create a, before I pass a question here, this question is a list. So already object should be created, question object should be created. So this code should also contain this code. Okay. First create a question, then pass that question inside that list. Append it. Mode we can give, it's a string, title string, created at maybe string, published is a boolean. Duration we can give integer. Okay, question is list here. First write this program, think what is happening, then I'll explain. This might look lengthy, but it's very simpler. Can anyone explain this code? Yeah, come on. It's okay.
Sir, from 48.
Yeah, from 48. You can start from 48 line. Actually, program runs, but the object won't be created. You will start from line 1. Just it will take and it will keep somewhere in the memory. Okay. Okay, you can start with from line 148.
Sir, we are creating one object, creating three objects. Q1, Q2.
You can start from 48 only. I mean, say object by object.
Here we creating in 48 line Q1 object.
Q1 object.
We are passing three arguments. Python language and second MCQ and 2.
Yeah.
We are creating two objects like Q2 and Q3. The same argument.
Correct.
And another class is fetch. We are creating object Python fetch. We are passing argument Python basic keys, revision and 30.
1 second. So when we have test, inside test how many attributes are there?
Three.
5 are there total. Okay. Total 5 are there, correct?
Item created by time.
But we are passing only 3, but still works. How?
Okay, we are assigning is default argument self dot function is list and the self is of this boolean value.
Sorry, I can't understand.
We are assigning default value.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
It's working.
Okay.
And we calling python dot face dot add position is we calling add position and passing q1 object.
One second.
Uh,
Inside that question, what is happening?
we are calling add position and passing.
Explain that add question block. Line number 22.
So in q1 object there is three arguments position and
No. Line number 22. Just explain that function. Add question.
say in add position there are one argument. There is position means this is our object.
Yes. That question is an object.
Okay.
Correct.
Then cell function dot append. Append is to extend the data in list.
We already have a list inside test class. Name is question. We are appending to it. Go ahead.
And we are printing
We are printing it.
function dot txt. Txt is the data. It's function.
Yes, correct.
And we are calling two times again. Q2 object and Q3 object.
Yeah.
Working is
Yeah. Then publish
then
method.
publish. If not self dot function, make a
What does that mean? If not self dot questions.
it means is self dot function is nothing. I think it's null.
So, what did you say?
I mean, in not self dot function means this self dot function is null. This is nothing else for self dot function.
That means in that list, if it is empty,
Yeah.
that list is there. No, it test self dot question.
Yeah.
If that list is null,
Null.
that means empty, and then we can't publish. That's what you are saying. Yeah.
Then return. If it is self dot function and values.
Yeah. If at least one question exists,
Yeah.
we can publish.
Self dot is published true.
Yeah.
And print the
In summary, what are we doing? We are just printing.
Printing.
Just printing. Good. Anyone else don't explain? It's okay. Fine. If you are not able to explain things, no, that means you did not understand the concept. Okay. I will break down things. I will explain. Okay, how many feels this is difficult? Okay, one. Only one. That means everyone else can explain. Do you feel this is difficult? You should raise your hands, right? How many feels difficult? Green flag, it's okay. Okay, fine. So, whenever you see bigger code, no, you should not get scared, okay? Because we can break things into pieces. This is a different class. First, let's understand that. Okay. First, let's understand question. So, what does question contains? Yeah. Text.
Question
Type.
marks.
Right. So, this is the way of initializing things. Okay. Very simple syntax. If you choose any other programming language, no, it's very hectic. So that's why I'm saying it's very simple. This is fixed for everything. For every class, you should have this underscore init underscore. Okay. And what all attributes you have, you just pass inside the method argument. And self is mandatory. What does self says? Which object I am talking about? Self. Which object I am talking about? Okay. When Q1 calls, Q1's attributes will be displayed or will be inserted. When Q2 is called, Q2's values. When Q3 is called, Q3's values. Okay, that's what self does. Who calls? The one who calls, their values will be used. That's it. That is self. This is very straightforward. We are initializing the value. Self.text, whatever we pass, that we are initializing. Type, marks. Still here any confusion? Okay. So now let's come here. This one. Forget about everything else. Remember till here. And let's come to line number 48. What are we doing? Q1 is equal to question. What is this question? It's a class. Correct? We are passing three values. What are the three values? Text, question type, marks. What is the text? The question itself. What is the type of the question? And how much mark are we giving? Okay. So one object called Q1 will be created. So in one box. Okay. Q1 will be created. For that Q1, text, type, marks. Okay. What is the text for that? Python is dash language. Python is dash language. Okay. Type is MCQ and marks is 2. This is how inside a memory a Q will look like. Q1 will look like a separate entity. When you do Q2, it doesn't know what is Q1 is. Okay. Whatever value we give to Q2, no overlapping. Okay. So one object is created, Q1. In order to access the value of Q1, what you should do? For example, if you want what is the marks of Q1, how would you print it? Yeah. Q1 is created. These are the initial values. You did not change anywhere else. This will come here. MCQ will come here. Marks will come here. Okay. Now, if you want to print the marks of Q1, that's it. Right. If you want the marks of Q2, Q2 dot marks. Simple. Okay. So now one object is created. Now I am creating another object. Same syntax. Values will be different. Okay. Next, one more object I am creating. Same syntax, different question, different type, different marks. Okay. Independently, three objects will be created. Okay. Till here, any doubts? We have one more thing inside this question. This is called instance method. Okay. The name of the method. See, whenever I say method, it's function. Function and method both are same. Function is equals to method. From now onwards, we might not call function. Method is the proper name. Okay. So we have a method. What are we doing in the method? What are we doing? Yeah? It's just printing, that's it. What print function will do? You all know, guys. What print will do? Self.text. What does self means here? Which object is calling? That is self. For example, Q1 calls this function or this method. For example, if I do Q1 dot if I do Q1 dot display, so someone please answer. If I do Q1 dot display, what will be printed? You can you? Yeah, try. Q1 dot display. Where is display? Yeah? Louder. Louder. Ninth line, right? So Q1 is calling display. Okay. What is happening inside this? So what will be printed? What will be the output of 10th line? Q hyphen Python is dash language. That will be printed. Okay. Next, what will be printed here? Yeah, come on. Who is calling? Who is calling? Q1 is calling. So I'm talking about this line 51. Q1 is calling the display. This is done. Type will be MCQ. Marks will be 2 because those are all Q1's value. Correct? Any confusion? Who is calling? Their values will be taken inside the self. That's what self means. If Q2 calls, these values will be printed. If Q3 calls, these values will be printed. Simple. Yeah. Any doubts here? It's okay. You can discuss. Okay. So now till line number 11 it's done. No confusion. Okay. Now let's come to class test. Okay. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. This might look longer, but this is very simple. I am defining a class called test. What all things a test will contain? Title created by timings. Yeah. Questions of list. Okay. Why question is a list here? Yeah. Why? Yeah, because a test will contain many questions. Right. That's why question is a list here. Title is typically what test it is, who created the test, the name of the instructor, time limit, how many minutes. Questions is it's a list, published or not. Okay, it's a boolean value. So how can we create one instance? I want to create one test. Okay, to create one test, I need at least one question, right? So we have a class. Now to create an object, same thing. This is the object name. This is the class name. What all in it has? Title created by time limit. Title created by time limit. If I don't pass time limit also, still execution happens because I have given the default value. If I don't give the default value, it will take this time. Very simple. This we discussed in the function class. So when I do this, line number 55, one object will be created. The name of the object is Python quiz. Very simple. Now Python class, Python quiz. Python quiz has how many attributes? 3 or 5? Python quiz has how many attributes? 3. How many says 5? How many says 5? Five. Any other 5? Can you explain why 5? Yeah, whatever you think it is. We are passing only 3. But you are saying that if I print everything whatever that has, how much will I get? 5 or 3 attributes? 5. Why?
Because there is list.
We have questions. We given some initial values. Here also we give the initial values. Just that we did not pass in the function, but still, everyone listen. This Python quiz has 5 attributes. How much ever we have inside the init function, that much attributes our object will contain. Doesn't matter we pass or doesn't pass. We have initialized the values, right? We have initialized it. So even if you pass 2, 3, 1, doesn't matter. We have initialized it. So I can say if I do Python quiz dot is published, what will I get? Yeah? False. Because that's the initial value. If I do Python quiz dot questions, what will I get? Empty list. Simple. If I give Python quiz dot time limit, what will I get? If I pass 40 here, what will I get?
40.
Because I am overriding that. Okay? Created by whatever I passed. Title, whatever I passed. Okay? So this object Python quiz contains 5 attributes. How much ever I have here, that much ever I can, that object has. Okay? Now comes, I have so many methods inside. All these methods are instance methods. Okay? There are other methods. That's why I'm stressing that word. Okay? It's an instance method. I have add questions, total marks, publish, summary. This might look lengthy. Let me come from here. What is summary function is doing? It's just printing, that's it, right? And what's there to get confused in this? Whenever I do self.title, whoever calling that, for example, if I have 2 tests, which test is calling, that value should be printed. Right now I have only one test, one object called Python quiz. So that's title, that created by, that time limit, that number of questions, length, that total marks, whether it published or not. Those things I get here. Right. This method is very simple. I'm just printing it. However you want to print, you can print. Doesn't matter. Next, let's come to this one. Total marks. We have discussed these things in the previous classes. So what is this line is doing? Yeah, let's break down this one by one. Q dot mark for Q in self dot questions. I'm taking the sum of it. Let's start from here, okay? Even in this, let me take this self dot questions. For this Python quiz, what is self dot questions? Yeah. Yeah, right now it's an empty list, right? This one. I'm talking about this one. Let's say I have 2 questions. 2 questions. One mark is one is 5, one is 4. Q1 marks is 5, Q2 marks is 4. So when I say self dot question, I'm talking about this. I am looping over it. In that, I'm looping over that question. I have right now I have 2 questions. I'm looping over it. From that I am picking Q dot mark. Where did this marks came from? Okay. So tell me guys. Here I have self dot questions, right? It's a list, but that question is of what type? Yeah, it's an empty list. Let's say I have put one question inside. That question is of what type? Yeah? No. Yeah.
We are passing object.
Exactly. So what is that? What is the type of that? Object. Right. So right now I'm talking about a test class, right? In this, if I ask you what is the type of this title, it's string. Title type of created by is string. Type of this is integer. type of this is Boolean. Similarly, if I ask what is the type of this, it's a list of object. What object? Questions. I am putting a object inside. That object contains multiple attributes. Again, what all attributes question has? Text, question type, marks. Is it confusing? Confusing. Confusing. Yeah? Yeah, tell me. It's okay, tell me. Is it confusing? Tell me, it's okay. Yeah? I can't hear you. I was just asking whether it is confusing or not. Okay. See, I have Q1. This Q1 came from question. Correct up. What all this Q1 has? Text, type, marks. Correct. Now I have test. In this test, one of the field is questions. It's a list. Correct up. In this list, I am putting this object. So if I break down this, I still have these many things. If I break down test, I get these many things. Once again, inside that question, if I break down questions, I get these many things. Confusing. Okay. So it's a test. If I break down it, I get these many things. If I get inside the questions, again it's an object. Object, as I said, it's a bundle. If I break down it, I get these many things. Right? So here what I am doing is, I am looping over all the questions. Question is itself an object that has an attribute called marks. That marks I am taking the sum. 5 plus 4, 9. Okay? Here. So here, this function, this method, what it is doing is, it is looping through all the question. Question itself an object. That object has many things. What are those things? Yeah, text, type and marks. In that I want marks. All the marks I am combining and putting inside the sum function. I have 2 objects right now. Basically I have 3 here. If I do it, I get 5 plus 2 plus 2. I get 9. Okay. Before that I have to add question inside a, right now it's an empty list, right? Before that I have to add question. That's why I have another method. So what it is doing, I am calling this function, this Python quiz is an object of test. I am calling add question and I am passing Q1 question. This question is of what type? It's an object. It's not a string. This question is a type of object. Okay. So this questions is a list. This questions is a list. This question is the object. Don't get confused. If you get confused, just do type of that particular thing. Whether you get some bigger string with class name and address, then it's an object. If you straightforward you get str int, then you know what it is, right? So this question is a list. This question is an object. What you are doing? Self dot questions. This one append. Can we append the list? We can do that. What I am putting inside? An object. I am putting Q1. I am passing here. That will be added. Right now, this list has one object. Okay. Now I am calling again, passing Q2. Now 2. Again I am calling Q3. I am appending. Now 3 questions are there. Till here, any doubts? Yeah, then any doubts? It's okay, you can discuss now only, otherwise people will get more confused. Yeah? Any doubts? Okay? Right now I have 3 questions inside this list. Okay? Now what I am calling is, I am calling publish. What is that method? Publish method. What it is doing? If not self dot questions. What is this question? This one. If not means if it is empty. If that list is empty. Right now it is not empty, right? If it is empty, it will print I can't publish, no questions. If it is not empty, if this list is not empty, that's the current situation. We have 3 things. We do self dot is published true. This will become true. So when I do python dot python quiz dot is published, I get true right now. Okay, then print will be printed. If I do summary, everything will be. I'll repeat once again. Listen carefully. Listen very very carefully. I have one class called question. Question has 3 things: text, type, marks. Okay, it's a blueprint, it's a class. I want to create a question, I want to create a real world question out of it. Okay, I want to create an object. How to create object? This is a syntax, straightforward syntax. I have to pass the values. Whatever values I pass will come here. Q1 will be created, Q2 will be created, Q3 will be created. Okay, when I do this is a display method here, it is printing whatever that has values, that is printing. When I do Q1 dot display, Q1 values will be printed, not Q2's. When I do Q2 dot display, Q2's value will be printed. Whatever I passed here, this will be printed. Okay. Similarly, Q3 dot display, Q3 values will be displayed. Now I have 3 questions ready. Now I have to create a test. Okay. In order to create a test, first I have to define a class. Test contains 5 things: title, created by, time limit, questions, published or not. Okay. In the init function, I am giving default value here. In the parameters, I am not passing questions because I want to add it later like this. Published or not, I don't want to pass it when I create the object. That's why initially I am giving false only. When all the questions are ready, I will make it true. Okay. I am creating one object called one test. I am creating. The name of the test I am giving object name is Python quiz. I have passed default values. I mean whatever values I want. For Python quiz, right now it has 5 attributes, not 3. 5 attributes. Whatever it has here. Okay. If I pass only 3, if I do Python quiz dot is published, it will come as false only. Okay. Now I do Python quiz dot add question. This method will be called. What this method is doing, to this list, one question is, we are adding one question. That question is of what type? Object. That object itself has so many things. Those many things. Text, type and marks, right? So I am passing an object inside the list. Okay. I am passing Q1, passing Q2, passing Q3. Right now, this object has 3 questions. If I do publish, this will become true. That's what logic I am returning here. Okay, this will become true. Now if I do summary, whatever is there, I am printing. Any doubts? Is it very difficult to confuse? Fine. Anywhere, any confusion, please ask. Otherwise, I mean, things will be getting more harder from here on. That's why I'm asking. Any question you can ask now. Any doubts here? Fine.